Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing great in these hard times that we are all living together in. Since we are trying to help you and facilitate for you everything that we could do, we are here doing these videos to explain for you the close up unit that we are going to have. So, to start with, we are having here Unit 9, Flying the Nest, and it's going, as you can see, flying the nest, it's related a little bit an expression for the birds, right? Yeah, it is. It means also that you are leaving your home or leaving your main origin and going to another place. So this unit is pretty interesting. You are going to have some vocabulary that are related to this idea, as well as some word formation, phrasal verbs, collocations, and also you will deal with some idioms and expression. Regarding the grammar, you are going to have the relative clause part, either through the participle clauses or through finding the clauses of reason, purpose, result, and contrast. So, to start with, the first part of the unit, as you can see here, is giving you a list or some stuff that can change or affect the person, like completing studies, how this can affect you, moving out of your home, getting married, and finding a job, or learning to drive, or having children. Of course, all of this are turning points into your life. For example, if you are completing your studies, you might develop and become a very successful person. Moving out of home, it's letting you know and exchange experiences with different cultures. Getting married might be a burden for you at your early years. And finding a job, it might be financially very sufficient for you. Learning to drive also might be a life skill that you can learn into your life and go on through it, or it might be a bad thing, God forbid, for any kind of accidents. Having children, also, it's a big responsibility and a great commitment that you should be aware of. So, to start with, we have here two passages, as we used to know, child marriage and initiation rites. And we also have here some question into text 1 and into text 2. So, I would start first here by reading the first part. And remember, we need to relate this to the flying nest experience that we are having. So, to start with, worldwide, more than 700 million women alive today were married before their 18th birthday. More than one third entered into union before the age of 15. Boys are also married as children, but girls are disproportionately affected. Disproportionately, it means that in an appropriate way they are affected badly. According to UNICEF, child marriage usually forced to much older men, usually forced to much older men and sometimes constituting slavery. Constituting means that it is established for them to be like a slaves for them is a manifestation of gender inequality, reflecting social norms that perpetuate discrimination. Perpetuate means to continue discrimination against girls. Girls who marry are not only denied their childhood, they are often socially isolated, cut off from family and friends and other sources of support, with limited opportunities for education and employment. Lower levels of education are common among women who married in childhood. Child brides typically end up having many children to care for while still young. In Nepal, for example, over one third of women aged 20 to 24 who married before their 15th birthday had three or more children compared to 1% of women who married as adults. Child brides are also less likely to receive proper medical care while pregnant. This, along with the fact that girls are not physically mature enough to give birth, places both mothers and their babies at risk. In fact, pregnancy-related deaths are the leading cause of mortality for girls aged 15 to 19 worldwide. Mortality here means to die. Many cultures condone the practice of a child marriage. Condone means that they deny or they don't like, they are accusing it, the practice of a child marriage. In some of these cases, the girls may give consent. Consent means acceptance or agreement for this, but the extent to which this can be described as free and informed when they are pressured by society. Their family and the economic stresses is problematic. Many are prevented from developing relationships in the name of the family's honor, and some face unspeakable violence if they do. According to the UN Convention on the Rights of Children, abbreviated as CRS, in exceptional circumstances, a mature and capable child over the age of 16 may marry, provided that such decisions are made by a judge based on legitimate exceptional grounds defined by law and on the evidence of maturity without difference to culture and tradition. Difference here, it means acceptance or respect to be revered for a certain culture or tradition. So it means respect, maybe. The CRS aims to raise the minimum age of marriage across countries and cultures, but any legislative changes or enforcement must be accompanied by measures to change social norms promoting child marriage, including the notion means an idea, that girls must be wed early as a survival mechanism for families, ridding themselves of an economic burden. So we can see here that this passage is just showing for us a great problem that ladies mainly are facing while they are young age due to getting married early. So I would go to the questions here of the text, as you can see in text 1. What is the main purpose of the passage? Is it to expose a problem, to condemn the practice, to clarify an issue, or to suggest a solution? Of course, it is exposing for us the problem, which is child marriage. Going back here to the second question, we can find out here, according to the passage, what is true about mothers in Nepal? We can find out that they are younger brides tend to have more children, or the majority of them are child brides, or they are unlikely to be educated, or the medical care they need is not available. In fact, the answer for this question goes for the first one. Younger brides tend to have more children, because if you can read here, in Nepal, for example, over 1/3 of women aged 20 to 24 who married before their 15th birthday have 3 or more children compared to 1% of women who married as adults. The third question. What is an impediment to girls forming their own relationship? Impediment means that a burden or something that like an obstacle that's stopping them from growing into a healthy environment. Is it the economic pressure they face, or the notion of shaming the family, or is there an ability to be free and informed, or the relationship may turn violent? It's actually B, the notion of shaming the family. We can find it out, this idea, into the part that was speaking about the honor. It's like the family honor. So you can find it here. Many are prevented from developing a relationship in the name of the family honor. Going back to number 4. Under what circumstances does the CRC is abbreviation for the UN Convention on the Rights of Children, accept a child marriage? When the bride gives her consent, or when there is evidence of age, or when it complies with culture traditions, or when there is a legal basis for it. Of course, it is D, when there is a legal basis for it. As you can see here, this part that, according to the UN Convention on the Rights of Children, in exceptional circumstances, a mature and capable child over the age of 16 may marry, provided that such decisions are made by judge based on a legitimate, exceptional grounds defined by law. So this is for the first part. We can find it here. Let's go to the second passage that we have. Initiation rights. Initiations mean a kind of campaign that starts first. So we are starting an initiation, and rights comes from the word rituals, which means religious traditions or religious practices that we are doing. In the depths of the Brazilian Amazon jungle, many native tribes still follow their traditional ways of life, carrying on ancient practices and rituals. The indigenous are the people who are living there, Satri Mawe tribe are among these. They value strength and the courage qualities needed to protect the tribe from hostile neighbors. Hostile means that they are enemies, are highly revered. As a result, young boys in the tribe are raised with the dream of joining the warrior ranks. So we can feel out here that there is a kind of courage or kind of battle to be the best man showing among all of the people there to through your act into the jungle there or into this tribe. So, however, this is not an easy undertaking. Undertaking here means it's like a pledge or something that you are praised for. And revered also here, it means like something that you are respected for. In one of the tribe's most sacred rituals, boys hoping to gain this status must show themselves capable of enduring the worst that the jungle has to offer. They prove their worth by remaining calm, often entirely expressionless, while experiencing excruciating pain. Excruciating pain, it means that very painful one.